Hi everyone, welcome to the broadcast tonight. I have a great class for you, but I want to start by asking you a very important question. Are you one of those people who feel like they're on the edge all the time? Now, this is really important to pay attention to if this is you. Do small things set you off and make you feel like a complete wreck? If so, you may be experiencing something called hypersensitivity disorder. And it's a really important thing to pay attention to. This is a real condition where your senses are extremely heightened, and as a result, you're more prone to feeling stressed and overwhelmed as a result. And so, when you're a nervous person already and you have this on top, it's really, really difficult. In this episode, I'll explain what hypersensitivity is, and I'll provide some tips for how to manage it. So let's get started. First, I want to begin by discussing how hypersensitivity reaction affects your anxiety. Now, there are two types of hypersensitivity. The first is a medical condition in which hypersensitivity reactions occur when your immune system overreacts to a substance that is generally considered harmless. Now, that's a serious medical condition. But the second form is when you are overly emotionally sensitive and easily triggered into a state of panic or emotional overwhelm. And there's a big distinction between the two. Today, we're only going to be covering the emotional side of things, as that will be what affects most of the people who are watching this right now. If you believe that you might be suffering from the medical version of this disorder, I would urge you to seek the advice of a medical doctor right away. Go talk to the professionals about that because you want to get it checked out and monitored. Hypersensitivity reaction is a type of hypersensitivity in which your anxiety and stress is affected. It's kind of like having a problem on top of another problem. So it really compounds things when you're trying to manage your emotional states. And these uncomfortable reactions can cause your body to produce more histamine, which can lead to an increased anxiety and stress level in your body. It can also cause your body to produce more cortisol, which can also lead to increased anxiety and stress levels. But what you might not know is that hypersensitivity reactions can also affect your immune system, and that can lead to increased illnesses on top of your anxiety and stress levels. So you can see how it's kind of like compounded interest at the bank. It just continues to grow and grow. And it's a nasty little beast that I see in so many anxious people suffering needlessly from, and most of them don't even know it. They just know that people are complaining about their behavior, yet they themselves are often unaware that any of this is even going on at all. And so people on the outside can see and feel it very clearly, but the sufferer feels like they're acting completely normal. And that's where the problem begins. That's a huge red flag, by the way. So if this is you, I want you to really pay attention to what we're going to talk about tonight, because it really can change the quality of your life. It's easily missed if you don't know what to look for. That's why I decided to do this episode, to help inform you of what might be going on within you unknowingly. Because like I said, a lot of people don't even know that they're having this kind of situation going on. Hypersensitivity reactions can also affect a lot of other things, including your digestive system and your respiratory system, and all of that can lead to increased stress and anxiety as well. So these reactions can also affect our nervous system. And that's when I begin to see people go to the next level. If you're a sensitive person, it's important to be aware of the ways in which hypersensitivity reactions can affect your anxiety and stress levels. It's important to know where you are and how to manage that. Knowing the warning signs is key, but knowing your mind and body is even more critical. Being in tuned to yourself, into your instinct, your mind, your body, your soul. You want to tune in to that on a regular basis. It's important to understand what affects us and how it affects us. Only then can we learn the skills to overcome these issues. You cannot change what you don't know exists. And so, having said all of that, there is such a thing as being too sensitive. And I'm choosing my words carefully here because I don't want to offend anyone, but I want to tell some truth today. You know, hypersensitivity in the United States, especially in America, is almost a disease. We've seen it a lot lately. People are over hypersensitive. And that's not just an exaggeration or a figure of speech either. I'm being real serious here when I talk about this. Hypersensitivity reactions are real, and they can have serious consequences. They can have physical consequences, they can have mental, emotional consequences, but they can also affect your life, your friends, your relationships, your work relationships. There's nothing wrong with being emotionally sensitive. I am an emotionally sensitive person. In fact, many people find that their heightened emotional awareness is one of their very best qualities, and I would agree. But these are people who know how to correctly interpret these signals and then use that information to their advantage. They take what is a disorder to some and learn to use that information that it provides them to better navigate their reality. And I find that that is the mark of a highly intelligent, high-functioning individual. When you get to that level of being able to manage your states of being, you're 90% above everyone else on the planet. However, most emotionally sensitive people can find it difficult to cope with the world and their interpretation of their reality around them in this heightened awareness state. And here's where things begin to spiral out of control. I see it every day. If you're struggling to deal with your emotions, there are a few things that you can do to make your life a little bit easier. You know, hypersensitivity can be a difficult thing to deal with. I know because I lived this way for a very, very long time. You might feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster, and it can be tough to keep up with the world around you at times. But it's important to remember that your reactions are completely normal. They're normal. Just because you feel things more deeply than others, that doesn't mean that there is something wrong with you. People come to me all the time and they say, I feel broken. I feel like someone needs to fix me. You're not broken, and you do not need to be fixed. What is truly required is a learned shift in the way you